Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video, we're going to be making an updated wishlist guide along with Paragon Priority, which we will be mentioning throughout, and also at the end, I will be recapping that. And we will also be focusing on all the heroes that you should upgrade and which heroes you can safely pass on, which are not needed, for example, even for Ravage Realm. So we're going to go ahead and begin with the regular all hero wishlist. So for the Lightbearers, the two key heroes you're going to want to be targeting are going to be Siren and Sonya from a beginner player standpoint, and you want to get both of these heroes up to Supreme Plus. The only other thing to mention is that Rowan, in the early game, you can use Rowan even at one copy to push AFK stages, so you can keep Rowan on your wish list rather than Siren up until getting one copy, and then you can swap it for Siren. That is probably the optimal path of progression. Now for the other S-level Lightbearers here, they're not that important. Vala is pretty much only for PvP. Temesia has really been phased out of even AFK stages. Cassidy is really niche use in some boss content, but most bosses never going to be used, and Atalanta is a safe skip. So a lot of the Lightbearer heroes are not a major priority for you to focus on. It's just really Siren, Sonya, and Rowan as of right now. And from that point on, you can't really go wrong with whichever one you pick. For the A levels, the two top A level Lightbearer heroes are the ones I currently have on my wish list as well, which are Sinbad and Hugin. Every single player needs to build up both Sinbad and Hugin because Sinbad is really good for Dream Realm content. We saw him this season really popping off. And of course, for Ravage Realm, he's going to be great as well. A lot of boss content, Titan Reaver, different boss content we get throughout the game. Hugin is great as a buffer because Mechanized Bond as well as his ultimate cast is going to give attack buff to his allies, and this season he had a really good true damage charm conversion bonus, which hopefully he gets a great charm in the next season as well, and he is meta for some Dream Realm content as well. So both Hugin and Sinbad, these are must-haves for everyone to build, also for Ravage Realm. After you are done with these A-level Lightbearers, you need to build out the other key damage dealers for Ravage Realm, which are Merrily and Corrin. These are two heroes that everyone should be building to their account to Mythic Plus at least, eventually even Supreme Plus. After that, it really is up to you which heroes you want to build. Muriel with her new Supreme Plus skill upgrade is a strong option. Lucius is fine as well, a solid shielder, and he usually does have decent Ravage Realm applications as well, depending on the charm he gets for the season, because usually he gets a pretty good charm to power up the attack buff of your team. And the other heroes, Walker, Faye, Valen, and even Luca, you can pass on them. Honestly, they're not really used anywhere. Okay, moving on to the Maulers. For Maulers, the S levels that everyone should begin with are going to be Mikola and Smokey. You want to get both of these heroes all the way to Supreme Plus as quickly as you can because of how strong they are as supports for Dream Realm and even Smokey for AFK stages. However, one other thing to mention, what you can do is you can get one copy of Brutus because he can help you with early game AFK stage pushing, or you can even buy one copy of him with the arena coins from the arena store. You don't have to necessarily be getting him from the wish list, but you can get one copy and then switch back to Mikola and Smokey, get them built up. Now the Maulers, there are actually three really game-changing Mauler heroes you want from the S levels, and the third one is going to be Shakir. Shakir is really important for Dream Realm bosses, especially endless bosses, and you need to get Shakir to Mythic Plus. Every account needs to get eventually Shakir to Mythic Plus. So these are the three big S level Mauler heroes: Smokey, Mikola, and Shakir. Apart from that, like Elsa, Reese, and even Lumont, these are very niche heroes, and mainly Elsa and Reese are only used for Ravage Realm. Apart from that, there's no major reason to have them on your account. However, Elsa is more important. Elsa deals more damage in Ravage Realm compared to Reese. And also, as time goes on, more heroes are going to be added into the pool, and Ravage Realm has a fix. You can only use 8 different heroes for that specific squad, and then as more heroes are added, of course, it becomes, these heroes become even less important to have on your account. But I would say Elsa number 4, and Reese, you can pass on him if you don't want him, but if you can get him number 5. For the A-level Maulers, the two key Maulers that you'll want are Odie and Coco. These are great for Dream Realm. Odie is a great top-tier damage dealer, even for AFK stages will help you. Coco can help in early AFK stages. It can help for Dream Realm. Coco is a solid hero, especially for pre-endless Dream Realm bosses where you need survival. Coco is one of the best heroes in the game, and you want to get both of these heroes to Mythic Plus and eventually Supreme Plus. as quickly as you can. So just a couple of mentions are that in the beginning, you can leave Kruger on here until you get one copy of Kruger, because one copy of Kruger will allow him to be usable for Dream Realm content. He can apply his physical defense debuff to increase the damage that your physical damage dealers deal, and all you need is one copy of him just to get that effect. You don't need to send him until very later on in your game. And then you can go back to Coco. Once you're done with Odie and Coco, then you will want to build up Seth. Seth is, I still consider Seth to be a must build for everyone's account as a number 4, basically. Mauler hero, or even number 3 after one copy of Kruger, because Seth is always been consistently a top damage dealer for Ravage Rumble. He deals high damage to boss content. Also for like game modes like Relentless Rumble, where you need to assassinate multiple enemies. Seth is really good. So Seth is like really a solid, probably the 3rd best A-level Mauler hero everyone should build. After that, it is up to you. Satrana, Sorin, Tandra, Gerda. These are heroes you can skip without really harming your account. The only kind of notable mention is Satrana, because she has some PvP uses with her vitality reduction and helping spread Bonnie's debuffs. But honestly speaking, you do not need Satrana on your account, and she isn't like a game-changing even PvP hero. She's just kind of a tech unique option. So that is what I recommend for the Maulers. Moving on to the Wilders. So Wilders have changed the most over time. For S level, I think every new player should keep Tasi and Iron as the 2 chosen S level Wilder heroes, not Lily May. And the reason for that is, if you check this season, how important were Tasi and Iron for AFK stage pushing? They were the most used heroes by far. And AFK stage progress is really important, especially for beginner players, free-to-play players, light spender players, because you will not be able to reach your daily cap. And like, if you can push extra AFK stages, that's directly going to convert into more EXP, training manuals, season essence throughout the season. This is going to boost your levels, allow you to compete better in Dream Realm and Supreme Arena. So this is why having AFK stage pushing heroes is a major priority for a lot of people. And Tasi is also really good for PvP. Iron is good for PvP. These are 2 solid heroes. Leave them on your wish list until they're both Mythic Plus at least. And then I would try to maybe after Mythic Plus Iron swap in Lily May. The thing with Lily May is not that useful anymore, because for boss content, there are better damage dealers out there. For Ravage Realm, she's still a major priority. And for PvP, she's a solid hero. However, she's just not a top Dream Realm hero anymore. But in early game, she can still be useful before you have other options available. But now we're having heroes like Shamira come out, who is probably going to be an even better damage dealer for even like light spender players in the early game compared to Lily May. So that is the thing. Lily May is phased out of boss content, but she's still fine. And if you do have no better options, she's a good choice. But I think Iron and Tasi, get them both to Mythic Plus, and then you can swap out Iron for Lily May, get her to Mythic Plus or Supreme Plus, then finish Iron to Supreme Plus. Those are the 3 key wild heroes. Apart from that, it's really up to your preference, right? Like, I mean, for Ravage Realm, Florabelle, Brian, they occasionally see some use, so they can be heroes you consider. Haywin is the best for PvP. However, she's really good this season because of her charm bonus, giving her that invincibility when she takes almost like lethal damage. In future seasons, if she doesn't have that charm effect, she's not very strong. Haywin is not the strongest PvP hero anymore, but she is one of the choices after basically these top 3. You can consider Haywin. And for Lorson's used for some high deficit AFK stages. However, there are different options you can use as well. So Lorson's also not very important. Moving on to the A levels. So A level Wilder is really where it gets really difficult, because there are so many good A level Wilders you want to choose from. However, in my opinion, this is the lineup you'll want to have for beginner players now. Faramor is really good for Dream Realm boss content with the true damage he provides. He's also really good for AFK stages. And then you also have Almas in here. He is key. Almas is one of the heroes you need to get to Mythic Plus as quickly as possible to push AFK stages harder with your Iron, Almas, and Tasi comp together. That is really strong. Also, even for like Arcane Labyrinth, a lot of different basically PvE modes are useful with Almas. And Faramor is just a hard-hitting damage dealer, also good for AFK stages. He can block HP recovery of enemies. So these are the 2 A-level heroes I would recommend from Wilder. Get them both up to Mythic Plus at least, and then you can swap out. And the other 2 ones you want to get in after here are going to be Arden. Arden is good for AFK stages and PvP. However, the thing is, Tasi kind of has replaced him. So if your Tasi is built up, there isn't a huge reason for people to build Arden anymore. And that's kind of the awkward thing, like, because when you look at the top AFK heroes, Arden is no longer there anymore, even though he was. Before Tasi existed, Arden was one of the top used, but now Tasi's kind of replaced him. Damien is good for PvP, but basically a purely PvP hero. Then Lenya is good for PvP and also Ravage Realm, really top damage dealer for that, and others, sometimes PvE content. Parissa is good for like battle drills. She can be used in PvP, and Leica is like, Leica is really for Ravage Realm pretty much exclusively, one of the lower priorities. So, but to begin with, Faramor and Almas. Then I would say probably still Aradin and Damien, and then Lenya, number 5, and then Parissa, 6, and Leica 7. Khafra does not need to be built. Okay, moving on to the final one, which is the Graveborn. The only 2 Graveborn heroes which are important from this the current game state are Thorin and Ludovic. And Shamira, of course, but Shamira's on radar recruitment. She's not putable on your wishlist yet, but when she does become usable here, then of course you will want to have her on your wishlist. But Thorin and Ludovic, these are both really important heroes. Thorin for Dream Realm, Soul Plunder debuff. In early game, you use him a lot in Dream Realm for that use. And for PvP, he's great. He has multiple lives, really difficult to remove. Ludovic is great for endless Dream Realm bosses with his Insight Charms, increasing his HP per second damage. He is a top damage dealer for endless teams, and that is why he's so important for everyone to build. Also for PvP, Ludovic is one of the best healers in the game. Burst healing from basically second 1 of the match. That is really powerful, and it can counter like enemy like nuking comps effectively. So both of these heroes are really top tier priorities. The question really becomes, when Shamira is portable here, which one gets replaced for Shamira? Because Shamira is more meta than both of them, but all 3 are really important heroes, right? So it's really difficult actually to make that decision, but we don't have to make that now because they're not even on the wish list. But after these heroes, basically Thorin, Ludovic, and then potentially Shamira, after these 3, the only other important heroes really, Cecia for Ravage Realm. She generally always has some use. Carolina sometimes has use in Ravage Realm, but even less. Carolina used to be good for AFK stages, but now because we have such better options, Carolina has been phased out. But Carolina is still a solid hero, definitely, but just not really usable in the current game state. Igor, Nara, you need 1 copy for some AFK stages for the like displacement. Hodgkin, not really important other than sometimes in Ravage Realm, and Igor is like some PvP uses, but again not important for most people to build up. So for the A level heroes, you're going to want to have Velka and Bonnie here for Graveborn, because Velka, even though her damage is not high enough to be in top Dream Realm teams, for Ravage Realm her damage still will be fine, and also she provides attack speed buff for allies. And there is going to be, I'm sure there's going to be some content where Velka is going to see use, even like for example the different events we have, Heroic Gauntlet, Relentless Rumble, occasionally she sees use. But she's not really that important. But the thing is, the other Graveborn A-level heroes are even less of a priority for you to be building, and that is why it's better to have it like this. And Bonnie is really good for AFK stages. She's really, as a damage dealer and debuffer, she's really good for PvP, where you know her debuff lasts for the whole duration of the fight. So she is a top tier priority for everyone to be investing into, definitely taking up to Supreme Plus, and even then Paragon after that is really important for Bonnie. But then for the other, like, if you are done with these heroes, the other ones are not really that important. Nero was important this season because of his charm bonus, converting some damage to true damage to an ally behind him. And also he's good because he can interrupt the enemy Lily May. The enemy Lily May interrupts him, and that can protect your Iron, who is positioned behind him, to immediately cast ultimate for PvP. So there was a use of that. But the other heroes here, honestly, Sylvina, Viperion, Salazar, Kalin, they're just not used that much, and it's kind of up to personal preference if you want to build them or even just skip on them entirely. But I would say Velka to Supreme Plus, then Nero and Bonnie to Paragon tiers because of how good they are for PvP. Okay, so now that we've covered basically the gist of it, now I'm going to talk about the key Paragon upgrade priorities, and I'm going to really make it a minimum because you don't want to upgrade all of your heroes Paragon. It's all the key PvP heroes. So for the Lightbearers, Siren is the number 1 and really top tier, and I would also say Rowan as well, because for energy boosting comps in PvP, Rowan is really good. So Siren and Rowan, those are who I would recommend. Vala, honestly, in PvP has fallen off. I don't recommend Paragon upgrading her anymore. For the A levels, Hugin is a Paragon priority because, again, in those energy boosting comps, shielding comps, Hugin is a key part with Rowan, even Siren together. So he's really important for Paragon upgrades. And then Sinbad, I just upgrade him to a Paragon because he's a damager for Dream Realm. It increases his damage output, but you don't need to Paragon upgrade him. He's not really that important, and in PvP he's not really used. For the Maulers, it's really just Shakir. He has some PvP use. And then it just comes down to which heroes you use the most in PvP. You can decide to Paragon upgrade them. You can Paragon upgrade Smokey just for some ascent or some stats, but he only gains 2.5% stats each Paragon Ascension. But that will slightly boost his damage in Dream Realm, but it's such a minor amount. I don't really think about it. But Shakir is probably who I would recommend for Paragon for the S levels. For the A levels, Odie is still pretty good. He can be used in PvP. But he does need faction tile support for that. And, yeah, but he's a Paragon Priority. Coco also can be used in PvP, but her ultimate, it takes too long for her to cast her ultimate these days. She's usually nuked before she can cast it, so, she's not a great PvP option anymore, honestly. And then Satrana, if you use her, but she's not top tier PvP. Seth, if you use him, can be useful with faction tile support, but it's up to you basically out of those. For the Wilders, yeah, the three key ones: Iron, Tassi, and Lily May. These are the three Wilder heroes, and they're also three of the top PvP heroes in the game. That's how good the Wilder faction is. So getting them Paragon upgraded is really going to help your performance in PvP. Apart from that, Haywin, really on the fence about her, honestly. It does help, and out of the arena store, probably she's the #1 candidate for Paragon upgrades, but I would not wishlist her. Until your Iron, Tassi, and Lily May are all Paragon 4, you have enough copies for Paragon 4, I would not even begin wishlisting another Wilder. For the A-level Wilders, it's the PvP heroes. Almas is really dominating in PvP. Other than that, Damien is a really good support for PvP. He's difficult to kill. That will always have value. And then apart from that, if you're using Arden in PvP, you can take him through Paragon. I kind of have him in Paragon because earlier, in global launch time, he was a powerful hero for PvP, but now he's kind of he's not top tier anymore. Lenya can be used in PvP. She can be Paragon upgraded if you want, or you can just pass on it. Faramor, not a big priority for Paragon upgrade, to be honest, because he doesn't have great PvP use. And then for the Graveborns, we have the Thorin. So Thorin is great in PvP, you want to Paragon upgrade him. Ludovic is good in PvP, you want to Paragon upgrade him. And then of course Shamira is going to be a major Paragon priority when she comes onto the wish list. You'll want to Paragon upgrade her. The other heroes, I would not really recommend it. And then finally we have the Graveborn A levels. So like we said, Nero for the tech option of taking the enemy Lily May interruption, which is valuable. The Bonnie for PvP because she's very strong in PvP, and then maybe Sylvina if you use her at all in PvP. But basically, this is going to be my overall top lineup that I would recommend that you guys go for as a beginner player. And then after that, you just go through the list of the different heroes we mentioned for all the different factions about which ones you want to prioritize next after you have these heroes upgraded to Mythic Plus at least. Otherwise, just take them to Supreme Plus because that is their maximum potential. Okay guys, so with all of that covered, now we will go over to the Epic recruitment. So as a beginner player, you need to highlight the top 5 players that beginners should have, and it will be a bit dependent on, are you prioritizing AFK stages? Are you pushing that first, or are you going to try to get your Dream Realm heroes sorted first? I think probably Dream Realm is the way to go, so I'm going to put the Dream Realm key heroes that everyone should be building in the early game, and those are going to be Smokey, Mikola, Sonya. Okay, forget about the other 2 heroes that we have at the end here. These 3 heroes are going to be really important for your Dream Realm. They are Sonya is one of the top buffers and also a good damage dealer. Mikola and Smokey, great buffers and healing for support. So these are 3 heroes you definitely need to have on your Epic recruitment wishes until they're Mythic Plus. And also it should be Supreme Plus for Mikola, should be Supreme Plus for Sonya. Yeah, okay. So those are the 3 key Dream Realm heroes. Now, apart from that, you might think, well, should you put Lily May here because she's a damage dealer for Dream Realm? And she can be fine early game. However, like we mentioned, she's not a top tier damage dealer, and I would recommend probably don't put Lily May here. Instead, I would say probably put Iron and Tassi. That's my recommendation as of right now. I mean, Shakir is also a major candidate, and even Thorin is a hero that you might want to consider. But if I really think about things, okay, potentially not, maybe Shakir or Tassi basically in this final slot. This is really up to preference. Tassi and Iron, if they're on your Epic wishes from day 1, this is going to allow you to get into AFK stage, pushing the optimal team lineup as quickly as possible because they are a part of that, getting them to Mythic Plus. as soon as possible. And then you have your Sonya, Mikola, Smokey, which are the top supporters to increase your damage in Dream Realm. And then you want Shakir because eventually you want to get Shakir to Mythic Plus for Dream Realm because he is going to increase the damage that your team does, especially for endless difficulty of Dream Realm. That's when Shakir shines. That's when Ludovic shines. So when you take any heroes here to Mythic Plus, maybe Sonya or Iron, you can swap in Ludovic, you can swap in Shakir. These are going to be great heroes for endless Dream Realm comps especially. And these are key heroes for you to be investing into. And then after that, then eventually, yeah, you can do Lily May. You can do whatever other heroes you have here. But one interesting point, which probably you would have noticed by now, is that you should have your epic wish list and your let's just save this. You should have your epic wish list and your all hero recruitment wish list to line up with the same heroes, and also only put S level heroes on your epic recruitment wish list. Is inefficient to put A levels because you only get 5 copies of an A level hero, whereas you get 1 copy of an S level hero, and that is not a good trade-off for A levels. So that is the thing. So, but why should you have the same S levels on regular wish lists and epic wish lists? Is because then you'll complete them faster. Like, I mean, if for example, you're working on your Tassi and Iron here and you put Lily May here, it doesn't make sense because it's like you're going in 3 different directions, whereas you should just go into getting heroes complete to Mythic Plus. That's when they unlock their full potential, and then cycle to the next one. Like when Iron is done to Mythic Plus, you replace Iron in both wish lists for Lily May. You move on to basically your next hero. So anyway, those are my tips about that. Let's move on to the final Stargaze Station. So Stargaze Station, there are 2 key heroes for every early game player as of right now, which are going to be the Twins as well as Fresto. Twins and Fresto, these are the 2 heroes everyone needs to build eventually to Supreme Plus. Now, in my opinion, Twins can work at 1 copy for some uses. So get 1 copy of the Twins first on your account, then take your Fresto up to Mythic Plus or even Supreme. And then when you're done with that, go back to the Twins, take the Twins back to Supreme Plus, and then when the Twins are Supreme Plus, take your Fresto to Supreme Plus. Now you have both heroes at Supreme Plus. Okay, these are the 2 key heroes. If you have Fresto and Twins at Supreme Plus, you're already going to be able to put together a lot of top comps for Dream Realm for endless difficulty, and for pre-endless Twins are great. Then after that, you need to get Rainier to Mythic Plus, because he is really useful for pre-endless bosses especially, and for some endless bosses as well. And you only need to get him to Mythic Plus. It's 8 copies in total, and then you will have him fully complete. And then after that, if you're able to, get your Harak to Supreme Plus. Because of his Dream Realm usage, he is still a top option for people to invest into. And then if you're done with that and you want to build something else, then get your Talion to Supreme Plus. If you're able to, that's the number 5 in my opinion, but probably by the time you're there will be way more Celestial Hypogenes out, and something else will become a higher priority than the ones I mentioned. But as of right now, this is the priority order. Do not do this. Don't even get more than Scarlita. Do not invest anything into Scarlita. That was a major mistake, and I'm regretting it every day I look at her in my account. Because she's not useful for anything anymore. Even in PvP, she's just not great. So that is a problem. Don't invest in a Burial, don't invest in a Diurnal. And honestly, these 3 heroes, these are kind of more for whales. If you're spending a lot. The other 5 that I showed over here on the right side, Fresto, Harak, Twins, Rainier, Talion, these are the heroes you would want to build, and we talked about the order. So anyway, guys, hopefully that is helpful. In like setting up your optimal wish list. It is very important to do this. And also, just final tips I have are that for early game players, they should use most of their diamonds on the regular all hero wish list. Only do raid up recruitment when it is a really game-changing hero. Shamir is one example of that. Shamir is a game-changing hero and important for pretty much everyone to have on their account. So you can invest into her on the raid up banner. But for the most part, unless you have a really game-changing hero on raid up recruitment, just recruit everything in the all hero recruitment wish list. And then, yeah, so that's basically it. Those are my tips. If you have any other ideas, you can feel free to share them in the comment section. Hopefully this is helpful. Good luck with this. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.